Beloved children, I am your Mother God. We want to continue bringing you news and inspiration in this historic moment of change. The energies of love, we are sending them up here and will reach them from the great central sun, as it is called, our home, in the center of the multiverse. Of course, in reality we do not live there. We are the great central sun, the source of all creation. We are talking this way, you will understand how much we love and how we are working with you to achieve the historic change in these times that affect the entire multiverse. You see, the Father and I, we do not sit on a throne to see things from afar. We see them directly. We have always been participant observers in the development of our universes. From the beginning, thousands and millions of years ago, when the first Father and I, we learned about the magic of creation, we lived on the other side of all creation. Every soul in the great multiverse is our own son, well known to us. That's hard for you guys to understand, of course, since it seems impossible when there are in the lower dimensions, conceive the breadth of our consciousness, but it has always been. We have learned from the beginning to be fully aware of every feeling, every thought, because our intentions always became. You and humanity are now learning that this is true for you too. It can be on a scale that seems less great for you, but I assure you that you have inside to create the same power that we have. That is why we have been coming often to speak with you, you teach your true nature and to help out the old I and leave her behind. If they had not, they should continue creating darkness, pain and suffering, not only on their own planet, but throughout the multiverse. I understand that my words may sound strangely disturbing to you. I have no intention of being terrifying. I'm just giving you a more accurate and realistic image of themselves. It is true that we created in our image, not in a physical sense, but in depth capabilities that you possess. You are our hope for the world. His own world would have been destroyed if you had persistently continued to believe that they are powerless and vulnerable, when nothing could be further from the truth. They left their own devices. You have already achieved the destruction of everything low influence. It is only because of our concerted interventions, he predicted eons ago, not perish. If it were not for our dispensations, they would have fulfilled the prophecies foretold. Humanity would have destroyed itself and would have damaged the entire universe and beyond, under the influence of the dark. You, dear children, are the proverbial bull in the china shop or Chinese stores. Like a bull without knowing it, most of you have no intention to create havoc and destruction. You do not understand how it is that every time something goes wrong, turn given. They cannot even associate the failure with their own size or their actions. I'm giving this quite funny and extreme example to make a picture for you it will be difficult to forget. It's funny because it's true. They have no idea of how your energy travels outward in the environment, bouncing off everything and everyone with whom they are, leaving their mark wherever they go. If you want another analogy, give your favorite 2-year-old child a hammer and let it loose in the dining room. He or she will have a wonderful time and will have no idea about the cost of your swing while they are hitting. This is not a criticism of you, dear children, it's simply a mirror where you can observe yourself. You have the disadvantage of being a relatively young race and being taken at the beginning of its development by the Anunnaki and recently by the enormously destructive reptiles henchmen. Now is the time for us all to relax. This terrible experiment occurred within the free will, in order to assess exactly what they had learned in the process, and first understand what their reason for participating. We move as fast as our contracts allow. You have complained bitterly that are not doing what we must to protect them, to eliminate suffering and poverty. And sometimes do not realize they are asking us to save yourselves. Let's do just that, but not before having a clear enough understanding of what you unearth, that we are not controlling or interfering with their free will. We already have a bad reputation, spread by the dark, that we are punitive and angry about their sins, and burn them in something called hell, if you do not obey us. You see that we are really in a position that you would call between the sword and the wall, at least from their point of view. We do not feel that way because we are simply carrying out the agreement we requested eons ago. We are more patient than you are. We of course remember everything and know how much it means our promise to you long term. We dislike to see our children suffering, but we know that after each lifetime return to us with joy and triumph, and that you are always ready to start again and face another, even more difficult. You are ambitious students. You are beloved and brave too. Our advice to be more moderate in their expectations often do not follow, but do not fear for your soul, because it is eternal, durable beyond anything that you experience on the human body, and a part of us. We adore for his audacity, his guts, his courage, and his gentle. You are bold and brave spirit in her nerves and her stomach, and their big hearts. Do you see how many words describe the quality of the heart that you have? Each language has such an excess of expression when it comes to its qualities of courage and bravery. I will explain how they came to be many of you who are here now, and I know that many have really difficult lives. Not the human body that decided to participate in this trip was his soul. You were here with us in spirit, higher version of you, which appears to realize this plan, and you, body and soul that were created as part of the higher self, with your permission and our participation. None of this was a mystery to you then. You were fully aware of what was happening on the surface of Earth, and you are still the teacher who they were eager to participate in this difficult and historic moment on Earth. All of you have been here before, most of you have had many lives here. Like us, you have developed a deep affection for their human companions, and courageous soul of his planet assumed the task of supporting and nurturing all, even as he dug blindly, punching and blew things in your body. After each life lived, you can do better, go further, dig deeper to serve your fellow travelers, and to want to try again. You saw the dark insinuating themselves into all areas of life, and longed to come here to stop them, to help with everything you have. You are exceptional beings, dear. You are the combination of the glory of his soul. You are well known to us through all its incarnations here and elsewhere, and know your body, and we know they are the newest combination of the experience of this life, combined with the wisdom of his previous incarnations in life and progress. You are much more complex in their development, so they can know, but we do not know, and work with you accordingly. That is why sometimes it seems that we are not listening. It's because we always listen first to your higher self, who understands and knows what you are really capable of doing, and know what they plan to carry out before coming here. First we must honor the desire of his heart. If you have not achieved all its objectives, because of the dark, your higher self will keep them get the training experiences, with other selves arranged for the greater good of all. That's why we say see every difficult experience as an opportunity, as you are, even more than they know. Each of you has a huge team of mentors, very attentive, very creative and dedicated, and guides who oversee all important events and even less of their lives, and arrange things to promote optimal learning for all concerned. I assure you that everyone is working overtime during this time to help them succeed in their ambitious plans, their learning, their evolution, and for greater wisdom and spiritual strength before ascending. This lifetime is the final act in this game that involved a low density and a free will in the presence of a great darkness, along with the opportunity to jump from the third to the fifth dimension in one lifetime. Now you why I'm saying these things understand, my dear children. Not that I believe that you have not heard of these things before. Many of you have heard some or all of these things, but have not heard me say to me as his mother I am and as I see them. Of course I cannot possibly tell you everything I see, but I wish I could. I want us unhindered through the veil, especially when it means to you gain anything from this experience of Earth they wanted and even more. Now, take that proverbial bull by the horns, take command and already demonstrate that you can stand firm in the faith, no matter what is happening around you, even when others question his sanity for it. You demonstrate to themselves that they can do what they want even while recovering from a broken love heart. Live life in its entirety, as they have always wanted, not for others to see, but to see it for yourself. Her father and I love them for their loving nature, but more than anything, because you are unique, are wonderful, and we have always known we have loved. We are with you always. I am your Mother God.